What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick, and I want to welcome you to the debut episode of a weekly series that I'm going to be calling the ROK Weekly Music Review. Of course, it's basically just essentially the name of the channel with weekly slept in the middle of that because we're doing this, of course, weekly. And we're going to try and do it every single Sunday. Who knows exactly how it's going to work because, of course, I got my life that's going on. So for the debut episode, we're covering the dates September 8th through the 24th in the United States. So in Asia, it's going to be different, but that is what we're doing. And obviously, this entire series here is going to be a little bit of a small recap of some of the stuff that I experienced in Korean music over the last week. Mostly going to be K-pop, but there's also going to be some, non-K-pop stuff included in there as well. And another thing too is we're going to be highlighting the comments that I get on my videos as well as we go through some of the stuff, because of course I do a review for, basically every new release. And so then, people comment and I will, pick those out and give a little bit of a video response to those as we go through the songs. So, we're going to have a bunch of segments. We're going to have a, bunch of stuff, segments for like songs that I reviewed, songs that I didn't look at, or that I didn't specifically make a video for, Korean indie, stuff like that. And we're just going to, work our way through, talk about music, talk about news, just talk about anything really that kind of relates to the to Korean music in general. So, with that being said, let's get it started with the first segment of the series ever, which is going to be the songs that I've reviewed. And coming up first, I believe it was on Monday, of course, is Infinite and their song The Eye for their 6th mini album, I think, which is titled Infinite Only. I love this song. It's a really, really great song. Definitely my favorite song from the group, or from Infinite ever, and my personal favorite song of the week. And the comments that I want to highlight, basically they're all of the comments, but we got a bunch of comments on the video kind of talking about how they love the style of this song and how it's different, and yet, or it's a bit of a fusion between what Infinite has done in the past and what they're doing, and EDM, which is cool. I like that people are like appreciating that. Like, people were really, really loving it in the comments. So I thought that was really awesome. And then we got this guy's name is I'm gonna kill it. But we have somebody who commented there, said this gentleman right here, or guy, whatever, that posted a comment linking to the theory about what the story was going on in the music video, which is super, super interesting. I really, really, I thought that was cool. Appreciated that. Some of the information that, like, I don't specifically look for, or I don't really, bother to look for, and I really just don't have the time to look into it. It's really cool when people share that with me, because I wouldn't have known about that otherwise. So that was cool. Really appreciated it. And every comment that I get, really, that I appreciate. So, moving from Infinite, we're going to Ji Eun and her song titled Bobby Doll. It's a really great song from her. It's her second ever, like, actual release. So, that's, just a thing. Obviously, I wish that she would release more music, because it's been her debut solo album was the end of 2014. This is the end of 2016. It's been 2 years between, releases. I kind of wish that we had seen more, but I'm not really particularly familiar with what she's doing. So there's just that in general. As far as the comments go, we got Mr. Babylon, and oh Jesus Christ! When you start making up words like this, we're just gonna call this person Mr. Babylon. How about that? Just pointing out the fact that maybe one of those backup dancers or whatever in that video might have been Sohyun from 4 Minute. At least she looked like it. And I can definitely see the resemblance in there. They pointed that out at the specific timestamps in the music video. I think it's at like 28 seconds and 33 seconds into the music video. So that's interesting. Obviously, I don't know if that's true. I don't particularly think it is. But, there is definitely a very, very similar resemblance right there. And then we got Mozzie pointing out the reason why the song is titled Bobby Doll. Bobby like a male name, and obviously, as I do know and understand, is that they're doing it to avoid getting in any trouble for using Barbie doll and they did kind of like literally rip off the, you know, theme and the idea for parts of the chorus and stuff like that from the actual like Barbie kind of the official, I guess, Barbie song or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's cool, interesting, you know, just pointing stuff out that, you know, helping me out to understand some things that I might not know. So I appreciate that. And, you know, pointing out cool and interesting things like, hey, maybe this person that's in this music video is somebody that we know and recognize, or, you know, is also interesting as well. Because, you know, sometimes I don't pick up on that stuff. And I mean, even if it is somebody that's like obvious, like, hey, maybe I would miss you know, a super obvious recognizable person in a music video. And it's always cool to point that stuff out. Not to mention, it's cool to just point it out like, hey, maybe this is just, you know, a secret appearance that nobody's supposed to know about. So that was cool. Moving from song Ji Eun on to Mamamoo, it was the final song that I reviewed for the week, and, you know, their title was a song titled New York, which was a pre-release for their album. You know, I thought, great song, but it's not really among my favorites, and I mean, that's just really the way that it is. Comments wise, not really anything interesting there, just basically because I didn't get very many comments on this video, or actually I didn't get any really. I just got the one that was telling me this was a pre-release, which I'm like, cool, thanks. That I knew that kind of already. But you know, when a video doesn't get a huge amount of views, you don't get very many, you know, comments. You don't get very many people that are like even give a shit to leave a comment. Not to mention, I didn't really like it, so people weren't really. Well, I didn't say that I was in love with it, so people aren't very inclined to do that. But thankfully, I didn't get any hate comments. So people, you know, telling me that I was dumb. So I appreciate that. But the one thing I do have to say though is that on that particular video, I got I got one single person who spammed on my video on my comment to reply to my one comment that I left personally to, and just a general comment on the video, as well as other videos that I'd released during the week to request that I make a video for a specific song. That's cool. Appreciate that you have a request and you want to see me make a video for something, but one, don't spam it. Two, just don't make requests on normal videos in general. And if you're gonna make requests, then you do them on the throwback reviews. I'm sorry, that's just the way that it goes. But like, if you have a request, one time is fine. I'm perfectly okay with you posting your requests, whether or not I'm actually going to pay attention to them on my video. Like, post one request for a video or a song or something like that on any video you want, one time. If you do it 4 times across 4 separate videos, or 2 times in the same video, then that's not welcome. Please stop. Don't do that. So that's just that. It's just like all of the people who just come and like spam requests on my videos apparently in hopes of like making sure that I see that, because I see every comment. Like, you know, it's really difficult to miss, especially since I don't get a high volume. So there's just that, something that I wanted to talk about, because otherwise I wouldn't have had very much to talk about regarding, you know, the song from Mamamoo. So moving from songs I reviewed, we're gonna take a look at some of the albums, just a little basic kind of discussion here. Because, you know, just to sort of recap my thoughts. First up is 2 PM and their song, or their album, Gentleman's Game, which I reviewed that song last week, and, you know, it takes me 2-3 days or something like that to actually get enough to produce an album review from when I first listened to a song off the album at the soonest. So, you know, it's just the way that it goes. So, of course, another R&B kind of album from the group. It's full of really, really great songs. I think that it's, you know, super great, but, you know, it's not really, you know, my favorite genre. But, you know, like I said, I think it's really good, and if you like R&B, you should definitely check it out and buy it. That's my suggestion. As far as comments go, we got Amy Toto, who I'm always going to take the opportunity to stroke my own ego here, or I will every once in a while. And she says, I appreciate the fact that you focus on the music instead of, you know, other things. And I gotta say, thanks for the support. Thanks for you know, showing your appreciation. I really appreciate that. Every content creator appreciates that. So leave the positive, supportive comments on their videos, and they will love you forever. Well, they'll love you until they forget that you even left a comment. But leave it, you know, if you comment consistently, and I'll remember your name, guaranteed. moving from 2 p.m., we're on to Infinite and their album Infinite Only. As I said, we were talking about the I. This song is, or this album, just like the song, is my favorite album that I listened to from the week, which, there's really only like a couple that I listened to, so that's cool. Definitely also up there as one of my favorite albums of the entire month, so that's really cool. As far as the comments, nothing really like thought-provoking or anything like that, other than you got somebody who's sharing their favorite songs off the album in the comment section, which is cool. That's what I love. I think ask at the end of every single album review to hear what your favorite songs are off of that album, just because I want to see, and I'm interested in seeing what people's personal tastes in music is, because with 2 p.m. or with the Infinite album in general, actually, you got 3 songs that sound one way, and you get 3 songs that sound drastically different from those other 3. So it's just it will be interesting to me to see, who likes what, and who, or which group of songs, or which song is the most popular and stuff. That's really, really interesting. I just like that. So continue leaving comments on the album reviews, sharing what your favorite songs are. I think I really do appreciate getting any sort of comment on those videos and stuff. That's it's not really the main reason why the main reason why I make all these videos is to kind of like build up a community, and hopefully we can get a little discussion and participation down in the comment section, and that's cool. Album reviews got to get more participation from the audience than my song reviews do, because more people watch those than my album reviews, but that'll come in time, hopefully. So moving on from the albums that I've looked at, we're moving straight into a segment on a little bit of K-pop news, which is this is going to happen weekly or whenever we get stuff that I want to talk about. And this week, the only piece of K-pop news or K-pop related news that I want to talk about is the fact that a North American tour for CL was announced, and it's going to happen in a month or something like that. I think it's the end of September or something. It's something like that. I can't remember the exact dates. Doesn't matter, because I'm not going to get to go, just because it's just a really bad time for me as far as work and other vacations that I've got planned. But we'll have, of course, like I said, we'll probably have more coverage of this and stuff to come in the future. But I don't know. So just generally what I think about this, I think it's really, 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 really awesome that she's touring solo. It's really cool. People are they're gonna probably be sold out shows, or relatively packed for a K-pop show. It's gonna be really, really great. And I'm excited, and I'm pretty excited. I'm honestly excited that she's gonna be in the United States, playing 8 shows or something like that over a couple weeks. Even though I'm not particularly on the hype train regarding CL like everybody else seems to be. But the one thing that's kind of ultimately the answer doesn't really make any difference. But the one question that I do have is what exactly is the point of the tour? So she just released Lifted, so there's that. Is this tour supposed to be something to increase her presence and whatever in North America, in the US market, or is it supposed to just be a tour for the K-pop fans, for the fans of 21, for her, fans of the Korean releases that she's had? I don't specifically know what it's supposed to be, what the ultimate goal is. Well, the ultimate goal is to probably sell tickets and make money. That's the only reason why anybody would go on tour. But that's one question. The other question really is kind of tied into that, is what exactly is she going to perform? Because if you think about it, if it's meant to be to promote English songs for the US market that she's only got 3 songs that are actually hers, that she can sing. But you consider the fact that it was announced, at least I've seen that her set is going to be 90 minutes long, an hour and a half of music. Unless she talks for a long time, there's going to be a lot of 21 stuff in there. It's just the way that it goes. She's got a pretty, hefty catalog of solo music herself in Korean, but there's going to have to be some 21 stuff brought in, I do believe, if she's going to fill up 90 minutes of music for a concert. Then again, there could be a ton of talking and audience interaction and stuff that's in there. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see how that finds out, or how that turns out. So personally, I think that this is kind of mostly aimed at K-pop fans, but you know, you never know exactly how it's going to go or really what. But you know, like I said, the audience is going to mostly be composed of people who know her from 21, because it's just, you know, that makes sense. There aren't going to be many people that know her from Lifted who actually really care enough to pay at least $75 to get into a show. You know, $75 for someone who you heard a song one time, or who has one song that you might be familiar with in Lifted, which you think is okay to pay $75, might be a little much for a lot of people, but you know, who knows? I don't specifically know. So that's it. That's basically, well, that not basically, that is literally everything that I have got to cover for this week's weekly review. I do hope that maybe you kind of enjoyed listening to this, or you know, watching it. You don't specifically have to watch these videos, but you know, just listen to them. Listen to me talk. I guess this is mostly kind of like a little bit of a podcast, but you know, also I do have the comments there, the images for the comments, which is cool, which you should probably, you know, watch for that part as well. But hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll have different segments, of course. You know, some will be every week, some will be every, you know, whenever I have content to take them up, or to include that into the show. If you have any suggestions for things that or if you want to point out stuff that I may have missed as far as like news and releases and other stuff like that, then definitely leave a comment down below. You know, leave a comment on sections that you or segments that you want to see, potentially, you know, some ideas for that. Just stuff in just, I don't know, just leave some comment and feedback and likes and whatever on the video. Definitely would help me out and help this, and just, you know, get off the ground and continue to grow from this episode forward. So like I said, that is literally it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I was trying to say and rambling, like, leave a like and a rating and a comment. It's really appreciated and helps this you know, this video get out to more people. And if you enjoyed this and want to see more of this if you want to see another one of these next week, you're not already, so then subscribe so you can see this and every single other video that I upload. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.